Welcome back, everyone. We've got some late afternoon and evening updates on our snow that's coming up tomorrow night and early Wednesday. Boy, was it a nice day today. Sunshine made it feel warmer than it actually was. Temperatures got into the mid 30s, but it felt like it was in the 40s. That strong March sun pouring through is a good looking day on the late afternoon visible satellite picture. You can pick out some snow on the ground here across West Virginia and central parts of Pennsylvania, but the rest of the region, mostly clear skies. The clouds will increase once again later on tonight into tomorrow morning. Here's a look at the national radar and satellite. The leading edge of precipitation is trying to push into the Midwest, and if my radar loads, there it is. Got some real light snow now in Chicago and Milwaukee, Indianapolis as well. A lot of this not quite reaching the ground, and a lot of this will fizzle out as we head through the night tonight as this runs into some drier air. This is well out ahead of the actual storm system, the area of low pressure, which is forming up here in the Dakotas, another area of low pressure down across Kansas and Oklahoma. These two will kind of combine forces later tonight and become one larger, stronger storm. So let's take a look at how things will unfold here on our computer models. We'll kick things off with daybreak tomorrow. Here's Tuesday morning. Light precipitation spreading into the lower Ohio River Valley. This will be rain down in Louisville, Evansville, maybe Cincinnati for a while. But this is snow tomorrow morning up in Iowa, Minnesota, heading into Wisconsin. By tomorrow afternoon, precipitation slowly pushing east. It's going to be a snowy Tuesday out here in Illinois and in Wisconsin and Minnesota. A lot of this, though, is rain out here across Tennessee and Kentucky, extreme southern parts of Ohio as well. As we head towards tomorrow night, here is, let's back up to 7 p.m. tomorrow evening. Notice what's happening here. Things are pretty slow to progress. Still dry at 7 o'clock tomorrow evening in northeast Ohio and western PA. The dry air is still winning the battle at that point. Meanwhile, the snow will be getting going out in Dayton and Toledo, Indianapolis, and Chicago is going to be nasty at about 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. As we roll things forward to 1 a.m. tomorrow, I've got two different computer models up here. Here's the European model, and here's the North American NAM model. They have a similar idea here tomorrow night. The NAM is a little farther north than the European, but the bottom line is that most of the steadiest and heaviest precipitation will be south of Youngstown. So this will end up being a pretty snowy part of the night tomorrow night for Mansfield and Worcester, perhaps Canton and Akron, down towards Dover and New Philly, East Liverpool, Wheeling, Steubenville. All those places have a better chance of seeing the steadier precipitation than points from Youngstown on north. And as we head forward to Wednesday morning at 7 a.m., the snow is starting to wind down at 7 o'clock Wednesday morning across most of eastern Ohio, western PA, and certainly by 1 o'clock in the afternoon, things are really rapidly winding down as low pressure along the coast really steals all of the energy away from the low that was out here across Ohio. So this becomes a much bigger storm on the East Coast by morning and midday on Wednesday. Washington, D.C., Baltimore up towards Philadelphia, pretty good chance of seeing some pretty hefty snow amounts. Overall, the absolute highest amounts from this storm will be in eastern West Virginia, western Virginia, and southern parts of the Keystone State. So that's kind of a visualization of how things will proceed. Let's take a look at a few different computer models and look at total snowfall amounts projected by these models. Here's the NAM model, the North American model. This really continues the trend of less and less snow from Youngstown on north. Here's Youngstown right here, and points north of there, this model has almost nothing. It does have several inches, though, down in parts of Columbiana County, Carroll County, heading over towards northern parts of the Panhandle of West Virginia. Pittsburgh gets several inches out of it on this particular computer model. But again, real sharp gradient, real sharp cutoff between those who get a few inches, several inches, and those who get nothing. So this is kind of a tough forecast. Here's the European model. This has even less snow printing out. I think this is underdone in a lot of places on the European model, but this idea, the reason why it has this big donut hole in through here is because it pushes the rain and mixed precipitation pretty far to the north. And so it kind of paints this donut hole of no or very little snow accumulation because there'll be some rain mixed in a lot of this area according to the European model. But I think this is a little underdone. Here's the GFS model, different looking model here, different solution overall with a stripe of moderate snow from Chicago over towards Dayton and Columbus. But even this model has a very, very sharp cutoff in northeastern Ohio, northwestern Pennsylvania. This has that idea where best chance of seeing a few inches out of this will be south of Youngstown, heading down into Columbiana County, Carroll County, heading over towards Beaver County, Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh area. But boy, Youngstown on north, tough forecast, almost nothing in some spots. There could be parts of Trumbull County and Mercer County who get very little, if any, snow out of this, so it's going to be a real sharp cutoff between those who get enough to shovel and plow and those who do not. Now, the trend overall on our SREF models, and if you watched my video from this morning, I kind of explained what these models are. It's an ensemble forecast. It's a model that is tweaked about 23 different times and then run over and over again to see what kind of different solutions it spits out. It's kind of a way of, it's just another tool that meteorologists use to try to forecast snow amounts. Here's the trend. Now, the oldest run of this, a run that was made yesterday afternoon, is the pink line. And the overall average of yesterday afternoon's run was about 5.5 inches in Youngstown. Well, the next time they ran it in the middle of the night, the average was closer to 4. That's the green line here. The next time they ran it was early this morning, and the average bumped down to about 3.5. And the most recent run of this SREF model has under 3 inches in Youngstown, in fact, closer to 2.5. So the trend has been less and less with each progressive run in Youngstown, and that's just kind of a sign that this overall system is trying to shift ever so slightly south and east of the area, so this doesn't look like a huge storm for us by any stretch, and overall kind of a tough forecast. National Weather Service does have a winter weather advisory out for Mahoning County, Beaver County in Pennsylvania, heading over towards Stark County as well, Tuscarawas County, Carroll County, but no advisories as of about 4:30 this afternoon for Mahoning County, Trumbull County, and over towards Lawrence and Mercer. No counties or no warnings or advisories or watches for those counties, and that goes along with our thinking that the worst conditions will in fact be south of Youngstown with this particular storm system. The National Weather Service puts odds at more than 4 inches worth of snow out of this, like this. The green area means there's between a 40 and 70% chance of more than 4 inches out of this, and that's pretty much, according to the National Weather Service, from about Route 224 on south. That's the area that has a 40% or more chance of seeing more than 4 inches. The blue area is a 10 to 40% chance of seeing more than 4 inches, and then you get up here where there's no chance at all of seeing more than 4 inches, northern Trumbull County up into the lakeshore counties. And so this trend has also been farther south, and I suspect their forecast will continue trending south through the night and into tomorrow, so that the blue area will probably be down in central Trumbull County by early tomorrow morning. The green area probably shifting down into more of Columbiana County, again indicating that the chances of enough snow to shovel and plow less and less the farther north you are across the area. Once we're done with the storm, though, it is going to warm up. Let me zoom out a little bit here and show you. Let's see here. There we go. Zoom out. Long-range temperatures. We've been talking about the warm-up that's coming at the end of the week. The black line in the middle is the average temperature for the day. Anytime these lines go above it, that means it's a warmer than average day. The lines are below it, it's below average. You get the idea. Warm spell coming at the end of the week. We could touch 50 in a few spots at the end of the upcoming weekend and maybe early next week, around the 11th, 12th, and 13th of the month. But then the trend from the 14th onwards is near or below average for much of the second half of the month. So we'll be keeping an eye on those trends. I'll be on 21 News tonight at 6 and 11. Thanks for bearing with me and putting up with kind of a long video here. I hope you'll tune into the news tonight for more details, and Jess will be on tomorrow morning with more updates as well. Have a great evening.